off. Today is day 366, but no longer the year of streaming and learning to code. It is just day 366 of coding stuff. The year is over, but the learning continues. Hey there, little kitty. What are you doing? Look at you. Look at you. You're so cute and furry. Alright, well, what are we going to be tackling now that it's no longer the year of streaming and learning to code? Just learning and just code stuff. We are going to continue on with the journey that we embarked on, chipping away at our pseudo Project 11 to store all of our projects in our little makeshift microsite. Tiny cat, little kitty, you're circling. You don't know where to go? Let's crack open our Project 11. Hey, McGreenberg. Morning, buddy and kitty. Morning to you, McGreenberg. There's also a hello from little kitty as well. Not very audible, but yeah, look at that. Are you here to say hey to McGreenberg, princess? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Who's got your tail? I do, on behalf of McGreenberg. That's who's got your tail. Oh my god. You're calling Siri and whatnot. No. Hey, tiny cat. Your toes of destruction are triggering things. Our computer is coming to life in ways that we don't want. Look at you. What are you doing? Where are you going? Are you assuming the napping position? Yeah, you're assuming the napping position. God, watch your claws. You good? You docking? You're docked. Successful napping position assumed. Alright. Let's do this. McGreenberg, how many kitties do you have? Just two. Just two. We did have a third, but that one was older and passed about halfway through the year, so he was sick. I think he was like 15 years old or something like that. Yeah. But now we're down to two. We've got your claws of destruction straight into my thigh. Pretty sure there's an artery there. If we pass... God, angry napper, little kitty. Jesus Christ. No. Wow, that's actually worse. Happy thoughts. Okay, well, if we bleed out on stream... No need to call for help, just drop some awesome emotes, that'll be good enough. What are we doing? Right, cats. Currently, household is filled with 2 felines. She's the younger one. She's like, what, 3 years old? She just kind of stopped growing. She's like perma-kitty. The other one is this huge hippo of a feline. It's beastly. Yeah, Oliver. Not great. Not great. Speaking of not great, we have a ton of progress to make on this that we need to do. In addition to trying to make progress on this project-ish, I guess, yeah, this counts as a project, sort of. I kind of wanted to reflect on different parts of the last year of coding as well at some point. But first, I want to figure out what I can start chipping away at here. We had our beta and alpha. We are working on the not the microsite, but the mobile version first. Start small, dream big, start small. View, developer, JavaScript console. Okay. This is a bit better. Now, why is it that the background detaches when it gets larger. That's why. Figured it out. It's the pixel size. It's the pixel size. It's not 1FR to 3FR. You know what it is? Aha! Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Here, the first column, watch this. Kiddos, it is 100 pixels to store the 100 pixel logo, and then it is a single FR from there. Ta-da! Watch this. Now, we no longer have... See the breakpoint? There's that white gap between the logo and the menu and the gray overall. There's that breakpoint. We don't want that. We want it to be seamless and to grow and to be dynamic with our page. The gap gets even larger when we go to a larger screen here. Right? That's no fun. No one wants that. So this will solve it. So the fractionals are great because the fractional just fills in the empty space. So if we lock in the first column to 100 pixels, and then the rest is fractional, it will autofill and dynamically change, which is exactly what we were dreaming of yesterday, but failed to achieve. Nice, 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 nice. So, we save that and we refresh. Boom. Problem solved. We also need to have our tabs slightly different. I'd like to find that stupid 3-bar menu logo icon. I think we could just have the word menu, but that doesn't seem to be fun. Do we want the word menu or a home button? I don't think we need a home button. That's what the logo's for. We'll figure it out. We're gonna stumble through this on the fly. Greenberg, your dot logo class is on the header and the image element. I doubt that is what you want for oh, for how I currently have things stored. Yeah, you know, I'm not too sure if I went about sorting and stacking my divs, structuring them in the proper way that I'm envisioning. The look of this, the logo and the gray bar, I'd like that to be maintained on the regular desktop website as well as the mobile version. And I was thinking of all the different elements that would be there. I want it to function as a header, basically. So I kind of just pieced together what seemed to be occurring in my mind, but not sure if I went about that the correct way. We can always change and update that, though. In addition to changing and updating things, let's shimmy beta and alpha. They need to be configured in a different orientation. And I'm drawing a blank on how to go about doing that. Before, I say before, we're referring to yesterday, which is now technically last year, I would have said something about flex direction to turn things. But I don't want to have them sideways yet. For the desktop site, I want a beta tab and an alpha tab, and everything can be expanded and blah, blah, blah. But since we're prepping the mobile version first, which we should go back to, developer. Oh, no, that's Atom Chrome. Where to go? View. Console. Mobile version. I'm looking to just have a menu icon, and we click on it, everything starts to spill downward. I think that's what we want. McGreenberg, doubt that's what you want. Get rid of the div around the logo. It's not needed. Noted. Lie-di-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. God, little kitty, your claws of destruction into my thigh. Really, we don't need div for that? I realize we'll just have image, and that's totally a thing. I just thought, I could have sworn we ran into issues previously. I can't recall if it was tied to image or not, but I could have sworn there were certain elements that didn't respond to... what's it called? It was either grid... I think it was grid. Could have been flex, but I'm pretty sure it was grid, where if they weren't wrapped in a div, the element didn't really behave or respond to grid nicely. And I could have sworn it was things like paragraph elements. Maybe it was links. I probably also had things set up incorrectly, but we can get rid of div in the meantime. La-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. La-da-da-da-dee-dee. But that was just a concern, so my gut instinct was to just put anything that I needed to structure with grid into a div and hope for the best. Save, and refresh. Cool. Totally not needed. You are absolutely right. McGreenberg earns 10 points for Gryffindor. Not bad. Not bad at all. With that said, we can continue on. You know what? I do think we are going to continue down the same path that we were doing here yesterday, but instead drop in menu. That's right. A list item. Can I just have one master list item? No. Yes. Wait. No. Hold on. Yes. So I can do the following. I want menu. No, that's not right. That's not right. I want a list element with an anchor. Well, that's not fun. With an anchor element, and I want it to be menu. I'm also pretty sure we're going to go to an all caps site, which means we need to change beta and alpha to all caps as well as menu, but in the meantime we're sticking with lowercase. Now if I want beta and alpha to be inside of our gray menu dropdown, all stored within there, I want to store it in here. I think that's going to change the flow of our CSS just slightly. I think there will be another list element added into the mix, followed by potentially another unordered list, followed by that. Not sure. I've grown less confident in my spidey senses since they've led me down confusing paths. So let's try doing unordered list as well, and then dropping everything that we've collected here inside. But ta-da! mean, I think that'll be okay, right? That's not syntactically too different than anything else we've been experiencing. Not needed. Oh, put it outside the unordered list. What you want is a button outside the unordered list. We usually put an SVG inside of this button, like a hamburger menu icon. Yeah, that would work. That would work. See, I was thinking of that, the weird little hamburger icon, or the word menu. I wasn't sure what was visually better to look at. I don't know if digging for that hamburger icon would be worth the time, but I think it would be. So if that's the case, let's undo my confusion. Piecing things back in the world. We can get rid of this. We will forge a button. Save, save, save. Refresh. City is still standing. Nice. And outside of this unordered list, we will have our button for menu. McGreenberg. People know that the hamburger icon is for menu. It's visually perfect from a user experience perspective. Agreed. That's what I was originally dreaming of. So we will want a button. And I guess inside that button would be an image, right? Yeah. Damn it. Image. And I guess here, maybe we can keep that on one line since it's just a single button. What will we call it? We will call it... Well, we don't need to call it anything. It will just house the image source menu. Probably lowercase. Okay, name, type button, name, menu. I hope that's okay. Unless I'm supposed to write burger. Not sure how that goes. Put this tag inside the button. It's the Unicode for the hamburger icon. Button, blah, 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 blah. You don't need to put type or name, just give it an ID. Damn, so I don't even need to go find, like, an image source or anything like that for this elusive burger we're trying to find. You can use JavaScript for the dropdown. Oh. Neat. Let's get rid of that and drop in exactly that. So there is the ampersand hash 9776 followed by a semicolon. Type button name, and I know we don't need them, but we can give it an ID. Is it wrong? Does it cause clutter and confusion? Is it better to not have those? I just don't know what any of these industry best protocol type or best practices are yet, mainly because I haven't been dealing with industry level stuff, but hopefully we'll get there at some point. ID in the meantime, we can call it menu. Menu button, just menu. Oh, menu button, whatever. Well, class ID. Subnav. Okay, hold on. I'm just concerned from a styling standpoint and now my divs. I agree that menu button should be here. But what about everything below it? I feel like that's confusing. I'm gonna need to update these. But they are menu buttons. Menu items? Menu items, good call. Menu items, save, save, save. Menu. Menu items. And this will be menu button. Yeah, Steven figured it out. Okay, there we go. Crisis averted, briefly. Crazy person's choice, right? So... McGrainberg, you don't need to type name, just give it an ID. You're going to use JavaScript for the dropdown. They're only for use when inside a form. Hamburger button. Yeah, that probably would have been the way to go. Don't worry about it for now, at the moment. Let's do refresh. Ah, look at that. We've got a... That's probably extremely hard to see on stream. Let me go to OBS so I can bask in the difficulty of seeing... Wow, that extremely minute. We're trying to zoom in. That didn't work. Let's close out of that. There we go. Yeah. Hashtag button life. Get some. So, with the following, what do I need to do? We should go back to our mobile view. And I want to move this to the right side of the gray and make it slightly larger. And I want to turn the thing white. Dee 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 dee. La dee 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 dee. Something about something. You know I'm looking at the CSS, and I could have sworn there was something. Aha! We need to deal with our grid fiasco for sorting things and flex and whatnot to position said button, which is now above these guys. I want to hide... I want to apply the same stuff where beta and alpha drop down after buttons clicked. So I want beta and alpha to be hidden within our hamburger. So I need to apply that noise to those. Greenberg, you can size the button with font size. Really? Button. Oh, and this would be menu items. Save, refresh, and then menu button, which is an ID, so I believe that would get a hash. Menu button. Font size, you said? Font size. Lee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. 1 rem. Save, save, save. Refresh. Do 2 rems. Or 1.5, I'm not sure. We'll see what 2 gets us. I think that'll be okay. When it's on the right side, everything should be fine. Color. White. For now. Again, even though we are styling and setting things up, this is still just kind of a quick fix in the... Haha, look at that, I have a white menu button. Yeah, bitchin'. Okay, now, continuing on. Don't lose track with celebrating over our small victories. Okay. We want the following to occur. Flexbox should be applied to our header. It should be with for whatever we're storing, and also hiding. Display none for those items. I also want those to be display none, which means I think subnav is display. I guess drop down. Drop down would be the next course of action. Not the next course, but the next label to apply this cool schematic to, I think. How would I go about doing that? What would be the best course of action? It would be the exact same song and dance, but instead of list items, it would be drop down. Command C. Not hover, but click. I hope I can just drop in click like that. And then instead of menu items, damn, wait, I don't know. Yeah, okay, instead of menu items, unordered list followed by maybe just all unordered lists. Maybe it can be simplified. If all unordered lists are hidden until they're clicked on, maybe that's all that's needed. Perhaps I don't need to worry about all of that noise. No, well, I don't know what you want. There's no click state in HTML. The only way to handle a click state is to hack the checkbox input with label bindings. That's really clever. No, we can, all... I think, at least, so the way it works now currently, because it's the fake pseudo mobile Chrome thing, you have to click on it and it shows the little fake finger touch point reticule to hover over stuff. Like, hover actually works with the mouse when it's in this full scale size. Hovering over, I don't need to click on it. But to get beta to expand and alpha to expand, here, I just hover. But to get those to expand when I'm in the mobile view, but that makes sense because mobile would all be touch-based. Developer, console. Here I have to click. Does it show the little... It doesn't show the fake fingertip. But I have to click on them. And that's fine. That's cool. That's a thing. So hover will work fine for now. But ideally, just like how beta is hiding projects 1 through 8, I would like the menu icon to hide beta and alpha until it's clicked/hovered on. Not sure what you want. There's no click state. Only way to handle the click state is to hack the checkbox input with label bindings. What you need to do is lay out the menu as if it was already in the open state. Since you're going mobile first, your hover click is not the same on a mobile device. At least it's not universal, and you shouldn't rely on that. Agreed. This similar thought or that thought sort of crossed my mind because in addition to prepping the device for the scale for the mobile stuff, because was all kind of sketchy dealing with it earlier, I'm pretty sure there's another thing that I need to add. I can't remember if it's to the HTML or if it's to the CSS or JavaScript. I think it's here in the meta stuff. There's some component, maybe it's added to the actual element itself. There's some component that deals with handling or recognizing the click functionality. I could have sworn that was a thing in one of the examples that I was looking at earlier, but I can't for the life of me remember what project that was. It could have been mouse position, because I think this project also needed to work on mobile as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, because mobile devices don't have a mouse, so that's crazy talk. Okay, so it wasn't that. Fine. As for the Holy Grail... Damn, I can't recall. You know what? Maybe it was the Holy Grail project. And it could have been some example we found regarding it. It was probably deep in one of our Google binges as we were trying to research stuff. Anyways, not critical. Not critical. Your hover click isn't the same on mobile. At least it's not universal. Shouldn't rely on that. Are you talking about the A11Y spec? Maybe. I have no idea, which that probably doesn't help you or anyone else. Bad Steven. Bad Steven. Forgetful son of a... We'll get there. We will get there. Not to worry. More importantly, continuing on with our styling issue, if I do want to hide beta and alpha, similar to how I'm hiding the other projects until I hover over them or pseudo click. It's weird currently, as we just discussed with the Chrome developer window and whatnot. Regardless, for the meantime, I would need to do the following. This unordered list is... This is the drop-down menu that we're talking about. It's only here, list.menu items. So I think if I do unordered list.dropdown, unordered list dot drop down, hover, followed by Copy. Would that be the same song and dance? Death, it's not. Son of a... I was so hopeful. I was dreaming. I figured it was a case of monkey see, monkey do. And everything would be great, but that's clearly not how this works. It hides it. Oh, maybe I should be hiding the list items. I should be hiding the list items after it. Within there, hide the list items. Oh, I hope that's right. Refresh. Ah, it was right. I figured it out. Little kitty, did you see that? Nah, she's napping. That's okay. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, so if that worked, then we can go to, let's do something. What were we trying to do? Let's close this. Refresh. Oh, that's right. It's an actual button, though. Crap. So despite styling it to be gone, hover is not... You're right, it's already starting to bite us in the ass. So I should just set up a click event in JavaScript for the button item. And then when we click that, we can then change the following. This is slowly starting to unravel. This is what happened in the calculator. McGreenberg, I'm hacking a fiddle for some assistance at the moment. That's cool. Thank you, Donka. We appreciate. Beautiful. Don't mind me. As a brief temporary break, not to the stream, but from my confusion and flailing on the keyboard. So I was reflecting on yesterday's stream, day 365. We didn't really cover, I think it was Woodsy, three of those, who asked kind of how, how was the year in general, streaming the whole thing, what were the highs and lows and whatnot, and how to go and all of that. We did answer his questions as best as possible at the time, but there was one other thing I didn't really get to reflect on, or that I didn't throw out there, and that was kind of the whole process of the year of streaming and learning to code. A goal that I didn't really... It had come up a few times, but I never really dove into it because we were still in the heart of the year of streaming and learning to code, and I didn't know if I'd actually pull off 365 days, which we did, surprisingly. So, but that was the fact that I wanted to highlight how far one could make it if someone was interested in learning how to code, how far they could make it in a year, even with terrible working conditions or learning conditions. If you sign up for, a coding boot camp, or if you're trying to learn something quickly and become a developer in 4 months or 6 months, chances are you're not... Obviously, no one's got the perfect environment to learn in, but chances are you aren't going to consistently be starting 2 minutes before midnight with the lights off, another human sleeping next to you, sharing every single thought of the learning process for a year straight or however long, and have cats walking over the keyboard. I'm sure people have a cat, but if you sign up to for a coding boot camp and it's like a 12-week program or even a couple months, like they're not going to have the lights off with cats walking on your keyboard, and they're not going to have everyone yammering every single thought that's going through their head. It's going to be a far more efficient learning process, and that's I wanted to highlight with all the what is it? We'll call them negative or less than desirable aspects. All those accumulated, and to highlight how far I was able to make it, to let others know, if you're curious, even with blind ambition, that you can definitely go pretty damn far. Yet again, to highlight, even with Code Academy, chipping away little 30, 45 minutes a time. Again, I had mentioned we did 159 days of Code Academy. And they've probably got even more content now after their big summer update. But you're able to, like, my 45 minutes a day that I was doing at Code Academy, or the hour and a half, that was still me yammering every single thought out loud with little kitty walking across the keyboard, and it'd be late at night, midnight mostly, trying to chip away at this stuff. Where's mine? BDX ink. We also reset our progress. I say reset our progress because we started at... That was weird. Did anyone else notice the buttons in the... It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Different languages were there. So I say reset because we started from the beginning at Code Academy, started from the beginning at Code Wars, and then we started from the beginning at Free Code Camp. So there was a lot of repeat intro courses, learning the basics of HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, and whatever other noise they had thrown us. So I'd assume if you weren't just spending 30 minutes a day, 45 minutes a day, or even an hour, you'd be able to power through Code Academy pretty damn quickly, whether it's free content or paid content. Anyone who's got the goal of becoming a developer in just a few months, I wholeheartedly believe they could pull that off. I was looking for an entirely different experience / journey. It was an exploratory journey that I embarked on. No set goal written in stone from the get-go. It naturally evolved. What are we looking for? View profile. Yeah, so there's the 8 different levels, and then the 4 higher levels after that. We made it through the bottom 3. Still have plenty more to do. And same with, 269 lessons completed, even in the small amount of time. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that. If anyone's wondering or wanting to compare, I know we've had a handful of viewers who have mentioned that they too have just started their programming journey this year. I'm certain they will make leaps and bounds more progress than I did in just a few months' time. Even to highlight, even the projects that I worked on, that Topher provided, I completed 8 out of the 10 in just 3 months, and the whole damn near the better part of the month, it was like 3 weeks we spent struggling with the calculator. So had I not spent close to 3 weeks struggling with this calculator, we would have finished nearly all 10 of these, I would think. So that's that. And again, also all the learning occurred on stream. There was no reading up on MDN between days or anything like that I should have been doing. That was That was kind of the goal behind some of the madness for the year of streaming and learning to code. But enough of that little rant. I didn't really get to go over that yesterday. It's sort of an in hindsight anecdote, but that's that or whatever you will have. Cool. Hashtag great story, bro. We can close out of this, close out of that. We will look at the map, though, because we can. See, all of this HTML and CSS started again right from the beginning. How everything just sort of falls into place. That's what I was talking about, hitting the reset button multiple times. Even at Code Academy, they've got multiple courses that go over the intro to JavaScript and multiple courses that go over the intro to HTML. So that type of starting from square one occurred a lot over my year-long journey, which I definitely needed. I'm sure other viewers probably found that annoying, but I found it rather helpful. Back into action, tackling our menu button. I did want to, despite the whole hover fiasco, there was one thing that I wanted to do, and that was shimmy our menu button over just a tad. We want it to be justify content end. So that would be a flex issue. So we have our menu button here. It is in our nav element with the menu class. Do we already have our menu class up and running? We do. Do we have our nav element somewhere? We do not. Let's go ahead and drop in our nav element right here. Should we do nav or main or menu? I think we should do nav. If we're going to be doing flex, I think that would work okay. Flex. Crap, display flex. Followed by justify content. End, is it? Crap, no, what is it? We've got not center. Flex end. Gotta be flex end. Yep, there we go. It was flex end, guys. It was flex end. Save. Refresh. Aha! Yes, good. Bow to my will menu button. Johnny Bay, what's up? Not a whole lot. Also, welcome, Johnny. Hopefully your day is going well. We are piecing together a little microsite to store all of our, I've got some wonky CSS going on here, hiding our menu. Let's comment this noise out. Save. Refresh. A little sketchy and weird right now, but we've got a couple projects that we've completed. 1 through 8 we've completed, and then 9 and 10 we'll be working on. So I'm trying to set up a little sort of microsite to house all of our projects that we've completed and the projects that we will be working on in the near future. Currently, I don't mind the stretchiness. We're trying to start with our mobile view first. Yeah, let me go back to not having this commented out. Command something or other. Command slash. Ta-da! And refresh. There we go. Something along the lines of that. And then when we go to click on our menu button, the menu, fingers crossed, should drop down. Not the most exhilarating project, mind you, but a project nonetheless. Yesterday we just conquered our year of streaming and learning to code. Still plenty more to learn, master, and do, but in the meantime, this is where we're at. I really do think we should set up a click event for JavaScript and tie it to that damn button. Dee 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 dee. La da da dee 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 dee. La da da dee 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 dee. Which file should I open? Projects from the past. We want to do the following. Documents. Let's look at not the calculator. How about we look at... We could do the Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball is interesting. I don't remember the button, if we had multiple buttons or just one of them. Magic 8 Ball open. So we've got our hover for that. The submit button is a form. Pretty sure this is a form element that we have, and I don't think it's quite the same. We can look at our JavaScript. Do you have an event, a click event? Question mark. I don't know anything. Damn you, Magic 8 Ball. Son of a... Okay, so let's go ahead and open our JavaScript for that to see what we did for our click event. I think it was just a form, and if it's a form element, you don't have to tie anything. You don't need to set up a click for the submit button. It's born with it. It is born with it, like a third eye or an extra pair of ears. It's just there. What are we looking for? For file. Open up our JavaScript for Magic 8 Ball to reference. If you see a click event. Aha! Variable event listener. Document get element by ID. Really? That's as much as we can zoom in? Oh dear God. No, no, no. That's better. Hopefully. No, that is it. Johnny Bay, we look like we have the same skill level here. Exactly. You're welcome to our area of just confusion and uncertainty. Lot of blind perseverance, though. That's what made us get through 365 days. Candy V? Candy Vi. What do you do? What, like in general? Like as a person? Or programming, or the stream in Oracle? That was just a little Magic 8 Ball that we had set up to answer random questions. Currently, we are, as we were mentioning to Johnny, trying to set up a little microsite to house all of the different types of projects that we've done, like our Magic 8 Ball or a coin toss. Go to coin toss. Coin. No. File. We'll do that. Documents. Where is our coin toss project? There you are. Open. As well as the heads or tails. Get all kinds of stats for your heads and tails. Because that's critical. How many times it's won and lost, and then same for tails. It'll average out the win rates. Pretty cool. And it updates the chart below. Alright, good times. 9 out of 4 wins to 10 out of 6. Not bad. But anyways, so yeah, we've got a couple different projects that we've done over the last couple months. Prior to those last couple months, prior to these 10, we spent most of our time at tutorial websites like Code Academy and Free Code Camp. So now that we've got those couple projects we're trying to piece together, I keep commenting out my CSS. Refresh. And now everything's shimmied over to the right. You know what we should have done? We should have done just the button element that needs to move to the right. Did I move everything to the right? I did. I didn't need to move everything to the right. I only wanted to move some stuff to the right. This is going to end poorly for everyone involved. Primarily Steven. Aha! You know what we need? Flex direction. Don't mind me, as we are thinking out loud, we're stumbling across new solutions. Flex direction. How do we tell it to turn? Candy by. Ah, okay. Yes, good. Directions. It's not vertical, is it? Nope. Damn it, Flexbox Froggy, here we come. I know, I should remember. I really should. Let's check line 4. Space between, line 5, flex end. Where does it turn? Aha! Column, it was column. Damn it. Oh, Candy knows what's up. Column, flex direction, column. We should have looked at the chat. Rookie move, Steven. Our confusion knows no bounds. Anyways, column, as Candy pointed out. Hopefully, that will help sort out a little bit of our nonsense. Yeah, nice. So when we continue on from here, what else do we need? Oh dear God, look at that. What is this? No. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Dear God, it's all happening. It's growing a mind of its own. Chrome can't keep up, neither can I. I've got our menu button, and everything set to hover. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? So it all expands upwards. Beyond. Death. Death. Johnny Bay. Rookie move, Steven. Rookie move. Exactly. See, that's, it's the truth. Damn it. It's the truth. And you gotta come to terms with it sometimes. In addition to that being said, so we no longer want justify content as flex end if we did flex direction column. We now want justify content to be center Save, refresh, and in addition to it being centered, we also want to have align items as balls. Not quite literally align items as balls. Is it flex end? Son of a bitch. Yeah, let's try flex end. My spidey senses are telling me flex end. Is it just end? Nope. Wait a second. Okay, there we go. I noticed justify content was gray and I couldn't figure out why it was the lack of semicolon in our life. You can never have too many semicolons. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can't. Actually, you can't. Look at that. It's not gray. Not gray. Regardless, flex end is what I think we will need. Refresh. Cool. A little sad looking, but we're slowly falling in the right direction. Pretty sure we need padding of some sort. I don't know if it would be padding or just margin left, or padding for everyone. I don't know why we shouldn't have padding for everyone, but what the hell. What to do. We should probably turn off the hover function, because that's just leading to all kinds of confusion. Hey, Graysall. PogChamp, 1 year's passed. True dat. We conquered the year of streaming yesterday. Graysall, now that the year's over, might have suggested learning more methodically. You'll make much quicker progress. Yeah, we were reflecting on that earlier in the stream. It also was a point that we have discussed a couple times throughout the year, not in too much detail. However, one of the goals, as I was mentioning slightly earlier in the stream, was I wanted to highlight to others in this whole process how far one could make it while trying to manage and learn with less than ideal learning conditions, starting minutes to midnight and being exhausted, yammering every single thought as I read through the instructions of whatever I'm doing and as I'm working through my code. All of those things probably aren't great. Trying to juggle a cat as well. Streaming, sometimes having to whisper my train of thought with another human sleeping next to me. All of those things probably aren't going to be there if one were to sign up for like a coding boot camp, or if they were to come across some free time or set aside free time where they were determined and had a goal from the get-go of I want to be a developer in 4 to 6 months. Chances are their learning environment, although it won't probably ever be truly ideal, probably won't be quite as hilarious as the setup we had endured for the last 365 days. But that was hopefully kind of a secondary, larger scope element that I was looking to achieve. Was just kind of highlighting how much we were able to still learn even with a less than ideal setup. Alright, Johnny Bate, what's the best way to learn? I've been going through free code camp. It depends what you want to do. Very true. If you've got a goal, then you're already leaps and bounds ahead of where I started. Web design? Free code camp is good for web design. I started at Code Academy, but if you're already doing free code camp, you've already probably passed the point where the initial courses, the intro courses to web design at Code Academy may no longer be of use. Code Academy is great for getting the ball rolling, that very first step, because it's hard to just look at examples from MDN on your first day and just crack open a text editor and just be like, oh, monkey see, monkey do. It helps having that little bit extra explanation and hand-holding in the very, very beginning. Code Academy is great for that. I know they do offer some more advanced courses, which I think a lot of them are paid for. But that's at least where I got my start. Towards the end of the year, because I did Code Academy, Code Wars, Free Code Camp, starting back in October. Topher was kind enough to hook me up with all of these sort of micro projects, and they all sort of build on top of each other. Beginning with Hello World, and then we set up a number guessing game, and he's got an example project. You know what? I think that the thing I should do is just send the link to Topher's awesome projects. And then now, of course, you don't want to look at the source code, but I don't know if you've reached the projects at Free Code Camp. They have you. This site is CodePen.io. It's helpful for sharing links and different things and whatnot regarding different projects. We can click on create. Actually, no, we'll go and see what did we have for us. Point is, anyways, Free Code Camp uses CodePen.io for their projects that you have to use. So I don't know if you've reached that point in the front-end developer certificate process. We made it about 85% of the way through. We were nearing just past the halfway point of the intermediate projects before we changed courses to focusing on these secondary projects Topher had set up for us. We can close out of that. Oh, we were supposed to look at the damn button for the coin project. There was a purpose to that. We were looking at the click event for that. We can keep that. Close out of this. CodePen. Probably not dashboard, probably profile. Johnny Bay, what's the best way to learn? Going through Free Code Camp. Depends on what you want to do. Web design, front end. Free Code Camp is mostly about coding. You don't need to know anything to code to do web design, Graysall. They're pretty orthogonal skill sets. That's a fun word. Johnny Bay, not web design, web dev. Ah, Candy. I think the best way to learn is to make a project you want to put online as a goal, even if you have no knowledge. That is true. Yeah, working. So I guess we didn't really touch on that. These projects, I made more progress and learning working on these 10 projects, which I've only conquered 8 of them. I started on these in October, but they were all HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This is just the foundational code. We haven't really started working on the JavaScript for this particular project yet that we're working on just yet. But yeah, we had set up, let's do the random user generator file just to highlight the glory of these. But working on your own project is probably the best way to learn, because you come across your own mistakes at your own pace and you find your own solutions, and it builds on itself, unlike any other experience that a tutorial site can provide for you. Random user generator HTML open. So here, like, this is what we did for project number 5, random user generator. We went through some basic stuff, some general resources, specifications of what we're looking for, some other fun extra credit type things, not so much extra credit, but just additional features if you're you're wanting to go that little bit further, open a link in the new tab. So here's the example of what Topher provides. Ta-da, random user generator. So the point of this project was to highlight the different, basically different methods for an API request. So we had fetch, what was it? Fetch, XHR, right, Axios and jQuery. So down here, it still calls random user generators, same kind of layout, but the different request calls. Ta-da! Ours was not quite as pretty, but still functional. XHR, fetch, Axios, and jQuery. File. We probably should open up the file in Atom. You know, we can open up the file in Atom, why not? File. Where do you go? Random user generator. JavaScript. Yes. So it was a great project because we got to see how the different request calls are configured and set up. So we had to go through all of that fun. Fortunately, we started with XHR first, and then fetch and Axios and jQuery because XHR was a behemoth compared to those following functions. Here's all the nonsense that I had to put together to make the XHR request. We can't even highlight it all. To make the XHR request function, right? Terrifying. Versus fetch, Axios, and jQuery are all these little things. Graceful, elegant, straightforward. Highly recommend using one of those over XHR just for simplicity. But now I know that after going through the project. Kind of fun. So, anyways, point is that yes, working on your own projects is extremely beneficial in accelerating your learning and general understanding overall. And if you don't have any of your own projects to work on, let's go ahead and just drop this in the code for anyone who wants it. Anyone new, learning, trying to figure things out. Be that developer. Go forth into the dark unknown and code your way out of there. Hopefully things load. Let's go ahead and pause this noise. Wow, things are just like totally locking up. Probably because I have all of those damn tabs open at the top. Which we're gonna kill all of those. I know I probably need all of that stuff open. Doesn't matter. Drop that in. Wow, with lots of comments that we just have totally disregarded. Close. Golden. Okay. Back into action. Let's close this out. We need our HTML back up. Copy. And here we go. Good-ish for now. View, developer, console, golden. Back in the swing of things. So, chat stuff. There's been a smattering of comments. Kenny, I think the best way to learn is to make a project you want to put online as a goal, even if you have no knowledge, something bigger. Johnny Bay, I have reached it. Grace Hall, yeah, just make projects. Learn a front-end framework. There's not too much to web dev, to be honest. Grace Hall, you can pick up pretty much everything you need to know in 3 months. Can confirm. The last 3 months have basically eclipsed all that I did in the 9 months preceding it throughout this year. Candy, depends on what you want to do, but yeah, Candy, I think making a game engine is not that much more complicated than some web devs projects. Interesting. Grace all depends on the game engine. Wink, yes. McGrainberg, the best way to learn is by song. Oh dear God. Singing links. Weird Constructor. Hey, Weird Constructor, how you doing? Good to have you in our midst again. BDX Inc., congratulations for the endurance/stamina with your year of streaming and coding. Thank you. We did survive yesterday. 365 days of nonsense and some learning. We pulled through, despite Little Kitty's efforts trying to destroy us. Isn't that right? Yeah, she's still sleeping in her lap. Candy, let's make some programming raps together. Weird Constructor, yes, true experience is earned by working on your own projects. Topher's link from me. Adam is also a big memory hog. Yeah, I will need to explore some of the other code editors available out there. What's the Visual Studio equivalent on Mac? Since that's what we're... Isn't it VS Code? That's the Mac equivalent. Pretty sure that's Mac equivalent. I'll need to give that a try. Grace, also didn't you say you'd click that one update button, the bottom right after the new... That is true. It is. So, like, even though there's been 365 days of the stream, I did want there to be a day 366, just to point out that our learning and journey will continue. However, I know tomorrow, and this is weird, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow at all in any ways. I'm going to try to keep so technically day 367 will happen on day 368. The days will no longer be, because now that we've breached the year mark, 365 days, blasphemy, I know, right? We're just going to be keeping track of the days that we do code. There will probably be multiple streams a day, so like day 368 may have 2 streams. I might code in the morning and at night, so there might be a part 1 and part 2. That was other things that we didn't want to do. I wanted to limit it to a single coding session per day for the last 365. All these odd little quirks that had just sort of naturally developed over the last year will be changing. But anyways, so what was Grace all updating? We're gonna try and get some form of a new computer/streaming rig to tackle all the other content and aspects, elements, categories, things we'd like to explore in the coming future, as well as coding, continuing our learning path down learning how to code and be a better developer. But there are other things I'd like to throw into the mix on this Twitch channel. So, factoring all of that in, I'm looking to get a better PC, and when I do that, convert and move, we're going to be changing our stream setup. I'm probably going to be moving my desk into that corner to help facilitate being able to stream whenever and whatever more frequently. But that's that. So, right, the update in the corner, that's tied to, I was holding off until the year hits to make all these big changes and updates and just didn't want to tinker with settings or anything. So that's why that update has been lurking there for God knows how long. Probably months now. I know it's at least been weeks, but probably months. But that's why that stupid thing has existed for so long. doing? So, Grace Hall, Adam's big memory hug. Also, you didn't click that one update at the bottom right after the new year. That's true. As we were just discussing. Candy, were you on board here the whole year? Grace Hall. Grace Hall, Candy started like day 100 and on and off. That is true. Grace Hall has been here for quite some time. Candy Cool, Build Strong. Xcode is the equivalent on Mac. Really? Fascinating. I have Xcode. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even think of trying Xcode on my Mac. I looked for other things. Huh. Adam showed up as one of the like easier to use out of the box for beginner developers. I know one of the benefits, it seems like Visual Studio is, and I know that's on the Windows side of the spectrum, but apparently it's extremely flexible, or how you can adjust the settings and all that noise. There's a lot of potential, but it also requires a lot more work in configuring that kind of stuff. It seemed like the general consensus for an out-of-the-box experience with little tinkering, that Adam was kind of a good option. Not that there aren't tons of options out there, but it seemed to be a reoccurring suggestion as far as that novice level developer code editor. But that's that. So continuing on, other fun things. Build strong. Yes, there's that. Grace Hall. VS Code is better than Atom in my opinion. I'm certain it is. We just haven't gotten to that point yet. That's one of the things that I am looking to explore other code editors in the future. Weird Constructor BDX saying, also respect your significant other in the background for enduring your journey in such a small room living with you. Right? Yeah, that's another reason why we're also going to be changing the room dynamic. I didn't think I'd actually make the whole 365-day thing happen. I thought for sure, like, mid-February, I would have been like, this isn't possible, or there would be some huge family event, or a family member passing, and I just wouldn't be able to stream that day or something, and it would have just caused me to stop the stream. However, we did have family member pass, but I still streamed. Yeah, those days we did not give up. The day they died and the day of their funeral, different days. Couple, I forget how far apart those two events were, but yes. So we pushed through some crazy stuff, some other epic family events. Rain or shine, life or death, we were here for the stream. Lots of commitment. But we somehow saw it through. And yeah, she was great for tolerating all of our nonsense. Candy SO, significant other. Weird sister or sister, no idea. No, significant other for sure. Currently fiance, so we're planning to get hitched in the near future at some point. Grace Hall, Xcode isn't great for web dev. Noted. I will keep that in mind. But yeah, that was quite the rant. We did lots of good, fun comments and questions and whatnot. We were trying to piece together. Crap, I closed it. File our event listener. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. You know what? We will use the JavaScript for the event listener for a random user generator, because we did have multiple buttons that functioned the same. Despite having different context, it facilitated the same action. So that's what we will implement for our code here. Variable which we can do constant. We can do constant. No more. Oh crap! Oh no, we haven't done anything in JavaScript. We are on a variable-free plan now. Plan of attack. Variables no longer exist. We're left with constants or let only. I forget whatever else there may be more, but we're moving away from using variable. We made that change in the last project. That was the one good thing to come from the calculator from hell. Was all of that. And I think we can source the same handle click event. This is a fairly generic handle click event. It is just identify something and do something with it. We can pass the data along to whoever needs that. Let's go ahead and steal our old code. Drop that in for now. Will that fly in the meantime? We've got our function, handle event, current tag. It is a button. This works out great because it is a menu button. Just like McGreenberg told us to set up. Set up a button for the little hamburger. Navigation burger. So we've got our button there. Dum 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 dum. Dee 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 dee. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. The other option, instead of, since we are planning for mobile functionality, since that's where we're starting from, and since hover doesn't really work out all that great, we could theoretically turn these into buttons as well. Do I really want to be that guy? No, we don't. But I could be. Could I be that? Well, it'd be a button with an anchor element inside of it. I guess that would work. Isn't that weird? Even just slightly. Button. Seems odd. Can you have a link? Can you have an anchor element in a button? Yeah, because you can link to shit. Why wouldn't you be able to have a... Cool. Ish. Although I feel like the button should have... That's really weird. Maybe I can just give button a source? That seems really messy. Is anyone else's spidey senses just on fire telling them that this seems wrong? Or that there's a better way to go about doing this? Like, as fun as it may be to crawl over the fence at the zoo and play tag with the gorillas, it probably isn't the best decision to make in the scheme of things. We should probably get back on the other side of the fence and not play tag with the gorillas at the zoo. And just stand with the rest of the spectators where people go on living. Undo this. How do I want to go about doing that? I mean, Greenberg, it's whatever you like. No, don't do that. You'll have some weird event propagation. Okay. Noted. Good. Glad we stepped down from that. Mr. Demon Wolf is hosting us. Awesome. Thank you for the host, Mr. Demon Wolf. So what would I want it? So the upside to this was that it covered all different button types, but then it passes it to a Switch event. We really don't need to pass anything to this. What we do need... Fuckers. I have the click that happens. I have a function that's identifying if the click is worthy of being clicked on, and then do something. We will have another function, drop menu, and something. Oh dear god. Oh dear god. And things should happen. Drop menu can go here. Drop menu. We don't really need to pass drop menu anything though. We just need to call it. What are we passing it though? Something will happen. Some either JavaScript stuff or CSS stuff. JavaScript or CSS stuff should happen. Hopefully. God, I hope that's okay. Save. Oh, this is gonna end just terribly. The whole city's gonna be on fire and it's gonna be our fault again. Damn. Our freaking confusion. Endless. The deep void of nonsense. Keep tinkering. Save, and refresh. Okay, it's a null property of something. Yeah, we pissed off the JavaScript gods. Of course we did. I did. Steven pissed off the JavaScript gods. Let's not kid ourselves. It wasn't anyone else's fault except for mine. What to do here? What's that, little kitty? No? You good? She's good. Little kitty's still sleeping in her lap. Okay, we just wanted to register that our menu button is alive and clicky. At the minimum. So it doesn't have a name. I think that's our biggest... No, it does have a name. It should spit out... Oh, it doesn't have a name. Look at that. Name. Menu. Cool. One crisis averted. Menu. Or burger. Wow, little kitty, what the hell are you doing? God, your toes of destruction with your little dagger claws. Menu burger. We're gonna call it menu burger. Just because we already have menu here as a class and the name's weird, so... We should have done menu icon. Should have done menu icon. Refresh. Clickety-clack. Nothing. So what is our actual error? We were ignoring it. Line 13. Type error. Can't read property. Can't read property. Button event listener. Oh, by ID buttons. We don't have an ID of buttons. We've got an ID of something else. Menu button. Crisis averted. See that? Just we're, you know, not the brightest bulb, but we're dimly lit. Determined. Unyielding. We just aren't the first flashlight you'd reach for. In an emergency, though, yeah, we'll suffice. Probably wouldn't be your first pick. Also, it's bothering me that it's buttons. I kinda want just singular button. What if it becomes multiple buttons in the future? That's a great question. But we can always add the S back later. See how that works? Yay, science. Aha! Look at that. Error gone. Steven figured it out. Sort of. Let's click on the button. Nothing. Son of a... Aha. Watch this. Wait a second. Console log. Do something. Event. Target name. Copy. Name. As our prop. And then console log. God, I hope this works. We'll console log here. Name. Save. Please work. Code. We just... Damn. Your mother. Someone's mother, hopefully. Anyone's will do. Yes, nothing. Beautiful. Wait. View. JavaScript. The console. Oh dear God, we're looping around in confusion. Usually when multiple mistakes stack up like this, it's a sign, and we should check, because that means it's getting later. As our ability to think clearly, coherently, just dissipates at a faster and faster rate. Ah, good. Yes, it's 1241, or 041, whatever your timescale preference is. We've got you covered. Point is that we're 41 minutes into a new day, and the closer we get to 1 a.m., our skill level gets even worse, and that probably wouldn't be a big deal for most people, but considering we don't have a very high skill level regarding the developer stuff, it's pretty detrimental. So, maybe we should back out. Do we need to make it... We cleared the first error. I feel like we should conquer something, right? Conquer anything at all. We still have the hover ability. We still have hover. I want to do the following. I don't know what I want to do. I think we're doomed. That's what I smell. I smell doom in the air. It's like burnt Steven. Not sure if you've smelled that before, but it's pretty much the exact same smell. Let's pretend that I was trying to do something. We need to change our CSS or add. We need to update what we were going to add here. We will start with this. We don't need the hover element. Watch this. I think I've got an idea. I think I pieced together what the hell I need to do. So we no longer need, see, before, yeah, when we hover over beta and alpha, the menus drop. That's great. But for our menu button, we're trying to move to the more mobile-friendly version, building out a solid, stable clickable button or menu burger in the navigation. So here, we're going to start with unordered list, drop down menu, followed by the list elements. They're going to start as display none. We no longer need that. And we're going to change it to display block. But we should be tying this to something else. In our code, usually we do get element by ID. And now they've got different IDs. No, they don't. They don't have different IDs at all. This was exactly why. It was the same. We gave them the same class. Well, you know what? That we can give them the same IDs. Yeah, you can play that game. Do we really, really want that? And would that actually solve my problem? I sense that I'm solving one problem, but I'm gonna create 6 others. Is that a normal feeling for a developer to have? Fixing one thing and destroying the other? Or numerous other things? That's probably a touchy subject. I feel like that might be the history of Microsoft. Well, the Microsoft updates. Although that probably applies to everybody. McGrainberg, that's normal. Weird constructor, that's a normal problem, but it should not be. Yeah, damn. Okay. Is adding an ID actually going to help the scope of things? When this is running here, save, and we get rid of this briefly, our code is relatively stable. When I run that, crap. What changed? Why is this no longer hidden? We had menu items, drop down, list items, ul.dropdown, list items get hidden. From there, unordered list, list.menu items, and their unordered subnavs disappear. What changed? Why did those no longer... Oh, because I got rid of it? No, I didn't get rid of it. I thought I already deleted this bit. Damn, Steven's broken the internet. Oh, walk away, Steven. Just let it be. We can work on it tomorrow. We can always work on it tomorrow, even though we won't actually be streaming tomorrow. And yes, we could do our first day of working on code while not streaming, but we're just gonna do like an off day in general. I think we might start chipping away at moving the room around for the new stream setup, but there will be nothing special, oddly enough, after 366 days. day 377 will be silent. Weird constructor. That's a normal problem, but it should not be the updating stuff, fixing one thing, destroying others. So, continuing on that point, weird constructor. That's a normal problem, but it should not be. Weird constructor. The thing is, breaking old things by introducing new functionality is a big problem. It usually comes from a badly organized code base or bad code in general. There are methods to get it under control, for example, automated testing, but clean code in the application is still necessary. Okay. So as we're changing things, try to keep it as tidy as possible. That means our current style of flailing around, modifying things as light bulbs go off, and patching crap together should probably be put in check. That way we're not coding like a chicken with her heads cut off. Little kitty, what would you do in this scenario? Yeah, look at you. You're a good little kitty, aren't you? Got your ear. And the rest of your body as you walk by for a scratch. You itching your face on the mic? Yeah, you like the mic. You're a cat. You assuming the napping position? I don't think you need to do that because we're probably going to end the stream sooner than later. We're losing steam, and reality is setting in that we're probably doomed. I think we are trapped on this island of confusion for probably the next day or so until we have our next stream. I think it was an omen. A little kitty coming, and she's already gone. She's in the darkness. Everyone run. He's like Jaws, but smaller and way more claws. A lot less teeth, more claws though. He's deadly. McGreenberg. Darth Kitty the Wise, exactly. Hey, Kosi, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I don't even know where we're at anymore. We're knee deep in struggling. Yeah, let's do this. Weird constructor. It's all about keeping the code base in an agile state that can be adjusted to new customer requirements. It often requires experienced developers to anticipate possible future changes, and because not all possible changes can be cared for in the code without making it too complex, this is a difficult problem. Alright, sort of a flexible but not too flexible type scenario. You don't want everything to be just plastered everywhere. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Deep 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 deep. Let's go ahead. You know what? Well, what did we do? We took nav and main and footer, and we gave our button element ID menu button. Is menu button anywhere else in our code still? Man, D. No, nothing. I was really hoping menu burger would be passed along to the following code. If it's not that, let's get rid of name. And let's just call it target. Save. Oh, I hope target isn't a keyword in this sense. We'll call it clicked stuff. We're just gonna call it clicked. There, clicked as our parameter. Oh, copy that, drop that in here. Clicked. Save. Refresh at least. No. Son of a motherless sack of sh. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. I can feel my brain flatlining. Day 366 ends on a fizzle. Ends with a fizzle? Both. On and with. Let's step back from our code. Tackle things tomorrow. Deep, 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 deep. Deep, 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 deep. Dim, 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 dim. Dim, 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 dim. Yeah. Definitely. We can still commit and push our code to GitHub, despite the fact that it's not in the most functional state. We still did add more stuff to our code. Dum 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 dum. Dee 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 dee. Dum 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 dum. Into OBS. Let's crack open the GitHub desktop app right here. Lie da 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 dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Lee dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. What did we do? Just more tinkering. Yeah, more tinkering. Command all, copy, 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 and we're pasting. Commit to master. Push. Beautiful, beautiful. Good times. Let's close out of that noise. Get rid of that from OBS. Double check everything was updated here on the repository front. PDX projects microsite. Click-a-dick-clack. Yep, more tinkering. Gotta get rid of that projects1 HTML file. We'll do that eventually. In the meantime, let's go ahead and back out. You know what? Let's set this back into the mobile view. We will get there. More progress to come. Back into OBS. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream and or assist with tips, tricks, hints, general conversation and whatnot. It is all greatly, greatly appreciated. Today we had McGreenberg, as well as Johnny Bay, Candy V, Candy Vi. It was Candy and Candy V. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Graysol, whom else? Weird Constructor, as well as Build Strong. And was there anyone else? And Kosi. Let's see. Also, thank you to anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled into our stream to view. Any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. There will be no day 367 tomorrow on what would be day 367. Day 367 will be bumped to Wednesday. For day 368, it's just going to be whenever we code. It will be multiple times a day. We're going to start to throw in more content, whether it's games or other things, general research, technology, automotive, audio, whatnot, all kinds of different things. We're looking to mix in a bit more variety into this Twitch stream as we continue to try and grow and nurture our little Twitch channel into something slightly more substantial. But yeah, that's it for now. Stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it!